Hello, and welcome back to Elden Ring Nightreigne. So, we have, when it shows me the right button prompt, another shot at the final boss here to do, and hopefully today will be the day, but we'll see. So after my initial massive go on this, and then like another go to it like a week so later, I think at this point we're like a month and odd into release. I've since then gone on, I've been playing a lot of the altars, I've been playing some Peak, mates, I've gone on a holiday and come back. So a decent bit of the way down the line now since I last filmed this, because I filmed them in like blocks when I've got time. So it's probably been a good 3-4 weeks since I played this. So hopefully I remember all the buttons. Here's hoping. But yeah. If I remember correctly, we have flasks that can heal allies. We've got holy damage on our weapon to start with. That same one also gives us some lightning grease at the start, and we have I think one of our abilities is improved as well. I forget which one, but I think it's the stopwatch I've got equipped. So should all be good. Right. I guess we can grab those. Right, looks like they're off. We can pick up that level, and let's have a look where we are then. So we should probably go down and oh yeah, that thing might shoot at us here. A bit quick. We probably want to head. It looks like they're rushing through here rather than stopping to fight the monsters. We should probably go and get into that mine and maybe stop at that church on the way around. That would probably be a good idea. We'll try to stick with our teammates in the meantime though. Right, what have we got? Improved chain attack finishes, successive attacks negate damage. I guess that is just a bonus thing. What have we got here? Exalted flesh, boiled crab. Ow! Nearly killed me. Right, they're alright, okay. Right. Ah, have they got a jail key? I'm guessing that means they've got a jail key if they're pinging it. And someone has a spell on them. Right, let's get back in the cover a bit. And we've got him. We don't do much stance breaking because we're using daggers, so I'll just take the runes. That gives us a lot of extra levels there. We've got 2 levels from that. Looks like they're trying to do the Sorcerer's Tower. Possibly. I think we should definitely be heading over here and getting this. Okay, there's a magma worm in the swamp. Right, add a flask charge. Have we got anything for runes? Yeah. Warming stone. It's probably better than the lightning grease, I'll be honest. We probably shouldn't be hitting up the castle right now, but I guess we're going to. I would have gone for the mine, since we're right next to it. We could get a weapon upgrade from there. Right. Well, he's not died horribly and immediately, so maybe it's not too bad of a boss down here. Oh, he's barely touched them. Ow. Oh, he did go to a spin and now we're dead. But we're alive then, so let's get out of that ice and all the crap that he's doing. Okay, we're gonna do this. We'll use our ability. It looks like then in the past month or so, they've managed to optimize it to the point where, yeah, I guess the Duchess's ability doesn't lag anymore. Black Knife, improved incantations, improved dodging though. But it is a purple. I mean, yeah, it's a dagger. I mean, we've got to take a dagger, haven't we? I mean, come on. Reduce skill FP cost. I mean, I'll take it. Shan't say no. Right, we should be able to do this fairly handily. What we could do with doing is getting to a point where, yeah, where firstly extends spell effect duration, poison or rotting vicinity, boosts physical damage negation. Sounds fantastic. We'll go with that. God, they are. All of these enemies, aren't there? Everyone else seems to be a lot faster than me on this, I will admit. I think they just probably at this point know the items and weapons better again, because I've not been on for a month. Right. Yeah, we'll take the stamina recovery. The claws are good, and they would be a good weapon for us. But whilst it's just a two-hand, dual-wield weapon right out the bat, which is pretty good for us. Make sure the dodging won't get hit by him repeatedly here. And be careful. That's not a great spot to fight him in. We want to kind of drag him back a bit, if possible. Ow, that nearly killed me. Right. Right, looks like the mage is going to finish him off. Right. Anyway, yeah. As I was saying, those claws from the other reward, good as they are, we have a purple dagger, which would be better. But no, it's going to be better, so we'll keep using that for now. In the meantime, we'll head to here. Looks like the goal here is to try and beat everything here. I'm surprised we're able to do this day one. I almost forgot then how to revive people. I'm like, oh, what? How do we do this again? And my attack had already started doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, you revive by doing that on this, don't you? Let's clear out the chaff. There we go. Oh, that's a special one, isn't it? It's got red eyes. I think he gives more runes though as well. Oh god. Okay, that's not bad. I'm fine! Right, okay, that should... Oh, and we're getting shouted for if I wanted a cup of tea in the middle of all that, but right. Okay. Nothing like being... What's it? Shout if I want a cup of tea right in the middle of, you know, two of us going down. It's like, kind of in the middle of something. Need a moment. Give me a second. More rules. Fantastic. Right. Okay. We need to go. We really need to go. There is a site of grace on the way. What's that guy doing? What's Peter doing back there? Peter, you're in the thing. You need to leave. He's not going to kill himself at the last second, is he? He's not that stupid, right? Okay. Okay, what poisoned me? And if you go near that, it gets rid of poison. Good, right. If I rush all the way down here, there should be a little beetle, shouldn't there? I can probably pick that up just before we finish here. Great shield talisman. Improves guarding ability. Not really useful for me, but I might drop it for them, but bit too late at the moment to be doing that. Oh, they're going to be annoying. Ah, get out. Heal. You're annoying. I don't like you. Okay, who threw a fireball? They threw a fireball at me and nearly killed me. Do they not realise they can do friendly fire with that? Right. Royal Revenant. Okay. I think we've just about, yeah, got him here. Yeah, this shouldn't say much more. Ow. And they're dead. Okay, we absolutely shredded them. I think definitely compared to like when I first were playing this on release. Let's see. Attack enemies die, so sudden enemy deaths, restore FP on guarding, enhance counterattacks using thrusting weapons. I guess for sudden random deaths, just cost. But yeah, everyone seems to have. I mean, we'll see if this persists, but people seem to be a lot better at this than I remember. Ow. Lava. Okay, lava everywhere, let's... Okay, we move around and it kind of goes back over there, lovely. Right, we'll get there eventually. It has to stop and I've touched him and it's instantaneously killed me. What? Jesus Christ, how much damage does the guy do? Let's make sure I'm full health. Ow. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe I'm like half and didn't notice. Sounds like the sort of thing I'd do. Oh, I've hurt his pinky toe a little bit. Oh god, lava, lava, ow, 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 ow. Okay, here we go. Ow. Ow. Oh, hello. And... what? V1. Hit him again. Ow. Use our entire stamina bar up. Use our skill. Hit him again with it. And avoid the tail. And finish him. Wending Grace, I guess. Might as well get that. Better than the other crap. Okay. And we absolutely can start doing that. Also, where was it? Blade of Death ability. What does this do then? Oh, absolutely. We're using that. Right, that's going to be our main weapon. The other will be our secondary weapon. We need to go up to this thing here. And use it, don't we? Oh, Yep, I'm gonna say, I hear something. Apparently as well with this, you want to not touch. Yeah, I think they've put those there now. They've put those there to show you, because I looked this up since. Apparently these like markers on the map that look like wind currents are actually the wind currents that these things take. So like this one goes from here and it wraps around to here and it stops you moving when you touch the analog stick. So I'm guessing that's why they've put those control prompts there now, because it's not otherwise obvious. And I think a lot of people are confused because they thought it was like, well, a regular battle royale, where simply put, yeah, you would normally control that, wouldn't you? Like they associate that mechanic with battle royales. Why did I use a blast charge? I forget now what game it is that I've been playing where X is the attack button. I'm trying to think. What was it now? I'm sure it was something. You know what? I think I know. I know what. I think I was playing Moonlighter the other day. Trying to finish off like, because I beat the game, but I didn't beat the DLC of Moonlighter. Oh, that hurt. So I didn't beat the DLC, and I was kind of playing that. While well, in the evenings on the Steam Deck while I'm on holiday. Ow, that hurt. But yeah, I think it was on that one where it's X to attack. But yeah, these are just on this, aren't they? They are on this like a crash. Right, Black Blade, we don't need those. Restores HP on... Improved spellcasting speed, improved critical hits. I mean, we're not going to guard, but fuck it, whatever, it's a passive. It looks like they're wanting to go possibly into the volcano here. We'll see how deep they want to go. Now, we want to be careful, we don't want to... Oh, don't look down, you'll throw up. We'll see exactly where they're wanting to go. What does this guy have on him then? I mean, I'm probably just gonna right, so it's down here exactly, isn't it? I'm gonna say there's like a spot you have to kind of drop. Oh, I nearly missed the spot. I want to stay very close to these because the last time the people who were with me kind of just went for it and left me behind, and I kind of had to like follow down here, make my own way through, and it did not go well. Defeating enemies restores HP. Raises physical attack power. Right, and we're going to say that That could be worth getting for the bonus that it gives, but if there's one that's just going to give me attack power, I'll take the attack power. Yeah, this is the last time we went down here. The other group did the same thing. They went past these, just left them here. And I ended up getting caught by them and killed. I do wonder what that little sort of ghost of a character is that walks by. You know? Looks like when you're playing the normal game, which is supposed to be like representative of like another player going through it, isn't it? Oh god, he's just spamming that move, isn't it? Let's take a moment. There we go. Got him. There we are. Oh, we get something for this. Lovely. Tax my loyalty, yeah. Like I said, the other reward we were just offered before that one might have been a good idea. Ooh. Not awful, but it might have been a good idea. However, when we've got one that's just going to give us more attack power and it isn't a passive bonus or anything, I'd probably just say to take that every time. Plus attacks restoring HP, it's usually like an absolutely minimal amount. Right, looks like we're just going to go past these. I'm just trusting in following this guy here. Oh god. Might not be the best of ideas, though. I'd use that sight of grace if it were clear, but it isn't. Right. Okay, looks like we're just going straight down to here then, is it? We're going for the legendary weapon. This is probably why they weren't as bothered about the mine earlier. It does make me wonder if they're working together, like on comms. I've already killed a magma worm, so this shouldn't be too hard for us. Shouldn't be, but you never know. You know what Elden Ring is like for using bosses. This might be like a souped up version of him somehow. I suspected as much that was going to be a trap then. It's down to half. Right. Let's take a breather, get our stamina back. We'll hit him again with those attacks. Let's make sure we're on full for this final part. And we're just getting ourselves killed right at the end. So let me, so I can run it back 2 or 3 times. And there we go. Blood loss in vicinity, I guess. I don't think we've got any blood loss attacks though. Oh, Black Knife also is a holy weapon. That's kind of perfect for us right now, isn't it, as well? So we've got 2 holy daggers. 2, well, 1 epic, 1 legendary. And we need to get the hell out of here. Don't touch the analog stick. This is when I start worrying if there's like a sliver of stick drift. Which is why you shouldn't tie things to moving the analog stick usually, but you know. Oh, okay, I guess we're here, right? I'm here. Looks like we're gonna go and beat whatever this is before we finish. I would say this is the strongest position we've been in going into the final boss, and if we don't do it now, I don't know when we will. Because holy crap, in the time it took me to just get here, they've already killed it. Stamina recovery speed. The other weapons were good, but they were fire weapons, and I've got 2 holy daggers of legendary and epic quality right now. We are absolutely, again, this is our best chance here. We should get ready to use this boost here. Everyone uses the boost, we're all going in. Will this be the it will, it'll be the it's like a commander kind of guy, I think, wasn't it? I'm thinking with the soldiers and that, it's either going to be like the commander guy, or it's going to be the maybe the draconic tree guard. Yeah, the draconic tree sentinel. Yeah, that one. The second guess. I'm glad I said it just before he arrived, because otherwise it would have looked like I just said it as he got here. But no, there we go. Right, so. Let's try and take this one ourselves. Careful. No, we've got to get around it. We might need to be more focused on the other crap that's going off right now. Oi! Stop walking away from me! Ooh, that repeated damage I did then nearly got him. But that finished him off. Right, there we go. Right. The tree sentinel's actually dead. We've just got a royal cavalryman to go now. Well, I've done my part. I killed one. Now I'm doing a bit more. Kill a second. Improve physical damage negation, lightning upon dodging, raise physical attack power. Damage negation. Right. Fingers crossed that we get this done here. We're going to be level 14 with an epic and a legendary against the final boss. We have a self-revive in hand. We could have used a jail, but I think we were a little bit busy. We can't strengthen anything anymore. We've only got 7,000 to spare. We've got a few items to use. And they're decent stuff. With any luck, this'll do it. I'm guessing this first phase is going to go down in a flash. We're going to absolutely ruin him, aren't we? Boom. Keep in mind as well, we've got his elemental weakness for all this. I'm gonna get a clean hit, well, clean series of hits. There we go. We've got a nice chunk of health too as well for this. Clean combo on him. Looks like the mage might just use a heal on this, and that might be all we need. Well, I'm saying that, and I'll probably need one. Right. The true battle begins. Top of our health. I'm trying to avoid that like spin he does as he winds up his attacks. Because it can hit you with a backswing that. I want to avoid that. Also the crap on the floor. Let's just take a heal just to be sure. Back we go, back we go. That looks dangerous. Get as many attacks in here as we possibly can. That was very good. And this is when it gets a bit crazy. Right. Boost ourselves up a bit. Damage negation, damage bonus, get a heal in. Ow. 2 heals remaining. Not doing too badly, no one's gone down yet, that's what really matters. When he starts attacking us, we just need to be defensive. Okay, looks like he's gone to the other guy. I've been hit though, so let's heal. I haven't got to dance between these lines while trying to get the occasional attack. I don't know how we handle that. Or why I went down and they didn't. Don't ask me, but it looks like they're going for the kill on this. Which is fair enough. I might be able to just kind of crawl up to him and they might just... their attacks might glance and hit me. And it might just revive me by doing that. Like that. Helping! I mean, the achievements come up. Is it real? Have we beat the game? Is that it? Are we the Night Lord now? Oh, and I'm all alone. Here we are. One Night Lord defeated. Oh, that was something as well. We had a Wending Grace as well in all that. I used most of the other items. I used an exalted flesh and a boiled... I think it was boiled crab we had. Ah, it's the round table hold then. Okay. But yeah, we never even... Hell, I think only... Well, only I went down once then. And only the once. I mean, I'll be honest, they were carrying the crap out of me. I know I wasn't doing bad. I had a good game then. But... I mean... So I had a good game, but by comparison though, they were just playing flawlessly. But it all kind of came together and we obliterated them. Dawn reached the ending. Well, there we go, that's official. I mean, we've got credits and everything. Don't know what happened at the end there. I mean, it's a From Software game, so good luck figuring it out without watching a 2-hour-long lore video, but they definitely remind me, those little beams of light, of the guidance of grace that you get in the game, that literally come from the sights of grace telling you where to go. So, just as a guess, I would assume they're connected, like maybe the sights of grace are literally like the fallen heroes of the past, you know, like their spirits guiding the current generation of champions or whatever, who knows. But something to consider, I guess. But it looks like we've stayed off the night. But yeah, so thoughts of the game. I would definitely say, and I've been hearing that the kind of the idea behind this, and you can kind of tell, is that this was a bit of a experiment from Software. Yeah, an experiment from them. And it's very much, you can tell it's a mishmash of ideas, but it seems to be like them dipping the toes in on the idea of co-op, well, sort of like, you know, co-op games and multiplayer and that, and getting the groundwork and infrastructure done in their engine so that it can handle seamless co-op on and things. Like, it's no kind of secret to anyone that one of the most downloaded mods for Elden Ring is the seamless co-op mod, and they do need to do this as well. Like, there's been multiple reasons as to why they made this game. It's also apparently the the director is wanting to like pass on the talent that he's got, you know, and his skills and experience, that to the next generation of developers at the studio, so the legacy doesn't go when he leaves. He's trying to kind of take a step back to give them more experience and opportunities to try their hand at things now in little projects like this, which is why it was done. It's like this. It is on one hand, it's like, oh yeah, it's obvious just asset flip and cash grab, obviously, but they've done that because they wanted a low stakes, low budget project so that they could kind of give everyone a bit of experience who's just come in the new cohort of developers. They're trying to get basically people to replace the managerial positions that are probably going to be open in the next, you know, decade or so, as the older members of the studio are shuffled out and move into retirement at that point, which they rightly deserve to do after the work they've done. So that seems to be what the reasoning is to this. You know, it's a bit of the studio's in a transitionary period. So it's a good way of handling it. A lot of studios don't let that happen, and then they end up with a lack. They end up with talent dying out with those who leave, and yeah, it's not a good way of handling it. There's too much churn at a lot of development studios, and you will get more churn when people go to a development studio and realise, I will never get to make my dream game. I will never get to put what I want in the game. I won't be able to express myself and fulfill my ambitions. But no, when you foster talent and you give them the reins now and then on some smaller projects, and even let them on the bigger ones if they prove to be good at it, you're going to attract more people to the company and things. So from a business standpoint, I think they're doing the right thing there. From a gameplay standpoint, this comes out as, because of that, it ends up being this kind of weird mishmash of ideas as they try things and try to put new things in their engine. Like, it's no secret that their engine was not built with co-op in mind. It's not great at it. It's always had issues. There's always been connection problems and other things. And it seems like this is a good way of getting that ready and getting that infrastructure into the engine for their next game, which, what we call now, it's like Dusk Bloods or something. You know, it's the not Bloodborne co-op extraction game that they're doing next, which is going to be different. And that's another thing, they can't just keep doing these games. You do have to innovate eventually. You know, they are kind of, the well is starting to run dry on these Souls-like games. You know, they might have invented a genre, but you're only going to be atop of that genre for so long, and the competition is starting to appear. For the last few years we've seen Lies of P. That's been, I've not played it, but I've heard very good things about it, and it's doing a lot of interesting things like weapon customization and so on. The other thing that is coming, I mean, one that I have played is Lords of the Fallen, where they're doing some very interesting things with the death mechanics, looking at if that can be changed. And one thing they've experimented with is modifiers. The idea of doing a new game plus with inbuilt like randomizers for enemies and loot and difficulty modifiers to make the game, well, harder for challenge runs, which adds a lot of replayability. So the competition are on the move here, and they are going to need to respond to it, because I'll be honest, like, Lords of the Fallen is probably better than every From Software game apart from Elden Ring. that means that they are probably one title behind them in terms of competition. That is, they are on their heels, right? And I would not be surprised if Lies of P is in a similar position, and there are other games to come as well. And I mean, there were one I saw a while back. I've not heard how well it did, but like the first Berserker Kazan or something were called, but it like an anime version. And it's like, yeah, there's gonna be stiff competition starting to show up. Like the genre is expanding, and when it looks like there's room on the market for a contender, when there's money in it for them, then you will see that competition. Oh, looks like we're getting a final cutscene. Ah. So did them defeating the Night Lord bring about the Erd Tree? Though in this time frame, I believe the Erd Tree has been burnt to the ground. So this might be a new one in this new locale. Who knows? Well, let's see what this is. That's the Night Lord, isn't it? That's the, you see those on the outside edge as the ring closes in. So I think that is meant to be like a physical manifestation of the Night Lord or something. I'm not fully certain. Oh, but it does look to be turning away from it. So I guess it's been repelled by the Erd Tree. Again, I'm not a lore aficionado, but that's what I make of the situation. If it burns down again, he'll be back, I guess. Right. And there we are. Oh wow, I was the only one to get to 14. Hang on, let's see the equipment details. What have they got? So, they had like this, yeah, full moon staff, didn't they? Demi-human Queen staff +3. They had a Mist of Slumber, Sword of Saint Trina sword. And the Grafted they had some gear, didn't they? They had improved spellcasting speed and projectile damage drop-off reduced. I don't know if that affects spells. I think that's more... because projectiles is unclear. Does it mean magic as well, or is it literally arrows? And they've got max stamina, defeating enemies restores FP. They probably should have given that to the mage, but oh well. They had that as well, and that. I'm guessing they probably were wielding... let's have a look what's there as well. Yeah, because we're going to say we all had a legendary, so they'll have been wielding this, most likely, which also was a holy weapon, which, yeah, I'm guessing that probably did a number on the boss. And there was the Gargoyle Black Blades as well. Like, we had some absolute gear. We felled 11 great enemies. Wow. Well, there's the map and the overview, if you're wanting to observe while I just finish off my rant about the game. So, yeah, I can see why they've released a game like this. And going into the gameplay, though, yeah, I would say that it being a mishmash of ideas, that it retains a lot of what Elden Ring is, but it's very much streamlined for better and worse. I miss some of the things that are there that Elden Ring had, that this doesn't. Such as, you know, the character customization, you're doing your armor sets, and I mean, let's be honest, we're we all like sitting at the round table hole, basically playing dress up Barbie, with his outfits and his character customization, prattling around for a good half hour every now and then when we get a few new armor sets and we return to base. We all do it. Then maybe adjusting your build a bit around it and doing all that. Yeah, it does take some of the fun out of it. I would personally prefer a longer experience with levels and doing your own stats and things like that. I would still keep it streamlined. I think it should be something like you level up and, okay, you've leveled up, tag 3 stats or something. You know, or just tag one of your stats and level it up. Something like that. I'd rather do that than have these pre-built characters. I'd rather create my own and choose my own abilities. So I think that is a point against the game there. And I think a lot of the criticism I have is about just things that it's not got over the base game and some weird design decisions, stuff like that. There's a lot of things in this game that are unclear, that aren't tutorialized well, like it doesn't show you how to, for example, open up the Sorcerer Towers. I had to look that up on a YouTube video before I figured it out. Like, I didn't even know that I didn't even know actually how to climb up to them at first. I just had no idea. Like, there's no door, there's no staircase, and you kind of forget, like, oh yeah, I can do like a bajillion jumps up of things, and you have to kind of jump over that crystal in the middle of the tower. And it took a few times of me going into towers before I kind of internalised that, because I'm not used to traversing that way. And the traversal and things like that and the revive mechanics feel like they've just kind of slapped something in rather than developing like a proper revive animation and having a revive button that you do like other games and it being more immersive. Like you attack people to heal them. That makes no sense and it's the most gamified thing. And that's like, if you haven't heard the term, like, gamified as in, you know, it's like the opposite of immersion. It pulls you out of the immersion. It's like I'm slapping someone with my sword to heal them. It breaks any kind of sense of immersion you have with the game at that point. And it's the same with, again, the movement mechanics. It's like, oh, I'm just going to repeatedly press jump and just scale this entire cliff. And there's going to be no fall damage, and I'm going to sprint at the speed of a car. You know, just weird, dumb stuff like that, that you can kind of feel like it's being just thrown together, all that, because it's like a patch on a wound. It's like it doesn't address the actual issue, which is, no, you should probably have proper traversal mechanics, probably a mount, but I guess probably didn't want to have multiple mounts, it'd affect performance or something, or and they didn't want it to affect the combat and things like that, and there'll have been issues around doing that. The what else is it? Yeah, and the same way probably things like reviving and so on, they wanted it to be like, okay, we can't have them trying to revive someone mid-combat, as the boss is doing like a wombo combo one hit kill everyone move and they have to be shifting out of the way. There's just not enough time, is what I'm guessing probably was the case, while you're in combat to revive people, so they just didn't bother. So it's that's what I'm guessing it is. It's like they're trying to try out ideas, but they're trying to figure things out like that, and if they did it again, I would probably hope that they got rid of the gamified things and replaced them with something that were a bit more immersive, that fit the setting, so that it feels a bit less, again, like gamified and arcadey and so on. And I would still prefer to have my own character, my own stats and stuff, even if it was a simplified system where it's just, you know, you go, you press level up, a little menu shows up, and you just tag a stat that you want to level up, and it just do something like that. That'd be all right. I'd like more control over my starting gear. I'd like there to be more progression. If it's meant to be a roguelike, there should definitely be more progression than just these little gems. Maybe like each boss you defeat gives you a gem slot. So you start off the game with, oh my god, you've got 1 gem slot, but by the end it's like, oh, I've got like 8. And maybe it like incrementally makes the bosses more difficult based on how many gem slots you've got across your party. So, you know, if you're a super leveled up party and you're all and you've all got max gem slots, it raises the difficulty of the boss enormously. Whereas if you've got a scrub on the team and 2 people that are alright, it's kind of in the mid-range somewhere. Whereas if you're only starting out, you know, there's things that they could do with this. And again, there's other things that I'd like to see them. I mentioned tutorializing things better with the towers and stuff. Like a good example here is the crater. Like you don't know about the crater. I mean, I had to look up the crater online. I looked up a few of these earth shift things online eventually because I was getting fed up of not knowing what they were. The game doesn't tell you, and it's like, okay, it's part of the discovery, sure, but it's frustrating in a co-op game when you might know but no one else does, and there's no communication methods in the game either. Like, that's a huge strike against the game. Like, there's no communication. You know, there's just none. You know, just good luck trying to coordinate a group of randomers to go to the bottom of the like lava crater here to get the ultimate legendary weapon upgrade when they don't even know that it's there. You're gonna have issues with things like that. But for everything that I would say is, you know, wrong about it and that they've got wrong, again, you've got to keep in mind that that's the point. They're trying to figure out with a low budget project what is wrong in their co-op formula here, so that they can get it right next time. And I will point out the things that they have got right. I mean, it's all the things that you would expect them to get right. The combat's perfectly fine, bordering on great, to be honest. It's not the greatest combat. I've never said that From Software games have the greatest combat. I think they've got, it's above. It's not what you would say is doing, you know, just getting the job done. It goes a bit above and beyond that, you know. But I wouldn't say it's as good as something like God of War or Devil May Cry or something. You know, if we're looking at a game that's got more realistic combat, I wouldn't say it's as good as something like For Honor. You know, it's not as crazy as that. But it gets the job done, and it has some flashy, cool moves, and there's a few little technical things to it that increase your skill ceiling a bit, so it's not too simple. I definitely feel in this one, because it's co-op and they've buffed the bosses to high hell, because obviously there's 3 of you against them. I do feel that blocking is utterly useless, especially when you're low level, especially if you're not playing Guardian. It seems to be blocking is useless, dodging is massively overpowered by comparison. And it gets back to creating your own character and build and things. Like, some of the characters are just vastly better. Like, if you have a good sorceress, as we did on this run, they are an absolute godsend. The Duchess, I think, is absolutely ridiculously overpowered compared to the others. Right? The Wilder is a good all-rounder. I think that the Executor is also really good. And in case you don't get a really good weapon, the weapon that he gets it'll more than suffice for most of the end bosses and things, and it scales pretty well. It's, quite frankly, it'll do the job, right? It will absolutely do the job, and then you're not reliant on those smithing stones. But that said, if you can get dual katanas with a bleed effect on them, you will absolutely destroy the world, and he will become an absolute damage powerhouse, probably the highest DPS character in the game, and murder everything. And he probably has the best ultimate. It's very versatile. It's good at reviving people, as well as just giving you a big, like, full heal tank to just distract the boss, and also dealing a nice amount of damage. And that's something like that. Again, a lot of the characters, like I think those are absolutely amazing characters. I genuinely think the Guardian is probably the worst. His abilities are absolute garbage, and it's like, oh, I block things, when blocking has been nerfed to the dirt in this one. You know, any boss hits him and it just breaks his guard and then he dies. At least with the Raider, it's like, okay, he takes the hit, but he gets a ton of damage resist when he uses that ability. So you can kind of punch them through a hit and do bonus damage based on the hit that you took. So he can be quite decent, but still, it's not a great power to have. It's like, my power is being punched. I'd rather go with Duchess, who's just like, okay, I'll hit them a bunch, press a button, and then I doubled the damage that I just did. Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous compared to everyone else. So there's definitely balancing issues, things like that. I honestly don't... I think all games that have some kind of circle, it's not great. This isn't too bad. The map, though, can be a bit vertical sometimes, and so that can kind of... you can get trapped. But it's not too bad. But I think that's more or less all I'd have to say on it. Again, it's like the things it gets right are the things you would expect it to get right. It's got amazing bosses, it looks fantastic, it's the combat, it does a great job at it. You know, all the abilities very flashy, very cool. It's mostly around balancing, and then a bunch of just weird design choices that are probably them trying to figure out how they would do a Souls-like co-op game. And it seems to be a bit... there's a few things that just seem to be a bit stuck on, like how you can revive in a fight or something. I would almost go as far as to say, maybe what should happen in a fight is... maybe it's something like... you just go over and you just pour an Estus flask onto them. That would probably be the no-brainer solution. Just pour an Estus flask onto them, or whatever the flask is on these, I forget. They all blur into one, but pour a heal on them and just brings them back up. That would probably be the most sense they'd make. Then maybe it's like, yeah, once you've gone down 3 times, you just die or something. Or can't be revived till the end of the boss fight or whatever. I would definitely get rid of the one thing that I've just remembered. I would absolutely get rid of the level loss on going down. Because, oh my god, that's so punishing. So punishing. It really is. I nearly forgot we get stuff from doing this. Become difficult to spot and silence footsteps after landing critical hit from behind. Fire damage negation up. Fire attack power up, improved Godslayer incantations, okay. Duchess, defeating enemies while art is active, ups attack power, improved great axe. This is another thing, again, the progression is crap. I would want some kind of crafting system where I can do something like, maybe destroy this gem and take one of the effects from it to apply to another gem. Because, Jesus Christ, like, the first one of those is great, the other two are absolute garbage. And one of them, like, improved great axe attack power on a thing that gives a bonus to the Duchess, who uses daggers primarily. Great. Again, the progression, like the roguelike progression on this, is absolutely terrible. And some of these, like max FP permanently increased after releasing Sorcerer's Rise mechanism. By how much? But, like, it doesn't tell you, they're vague. Duration of ultimate art extended by how much? It doesn't tell you. You know, starting the armament inflicts frost. Lightning grease in possession at start. Physical attack up by 1. How much extra damage does that mean? Don't know. Switching weapons adds affinity attack. Boosts attack power of added affinity attacks. Switching weapons boosts attack power. Like, boost it by how much for how long? Don't know. It's there's a lot of that. So it's still got a lot of the problems of, yeah, after finishing the game, return to Round Table Hold to a time when the primordial Night Lord was not yet defeated. Relics and Merc that were held at the end of the game are preserved and the journey carries on. Rotted Woods. A forest transformed by the power of an outer god. Overrun by scarlet rot and filled with all manner of decay. But life has found ways to resist. Survivors of the forest built a tower of fire to cleanse the rotting miasma and nurture materials that temporarily stave off rot. Legend speaks of a secret protective forest blessing hidden inside the tower, alongside the countless heirlooms of would-be treasure seekers who lost their way. Sounds interesting. And there's a lot of things that it does right from a roguelike perspective. And I think, again, that's the thing. It's like all the things you'd expect to get right gets right. The bosses, the combat and everything, the visuals. The roguelike, from a roguelike perspective, it's like, right, so it's the same map all the time with the same terrain features and so on. Some of the points of interest stay the same all the time, but they all typically will change what enemies are there. They will all typically, a lot of the camps will be different camps, or they might be forts or whatever, but they do come out of a pool of them. So it's essentially, it's just, here's a map with a few terrain features on and points of interest that are fixed, like the mines, the castle and so on. And then the rest are going to be, there's going to be points of interest in the same spot, but it might be a different one each time, or there might not even be one there. And that's how it seems to work. And then you've got these shifting earth events as well to mix it up even more, which is a nice added challenge and a bit of a change. That's quite interesting. I would like it if you could maybe, when you could, if you could rest to make a different shifting earth appear, or if you could just choose one. Put like a preference on one, and it'd, when it creates a group, it'd just pick one out of you to get their shifting earth chosen or something. That'd be nice. It adds enough replayability to it though. Does the map that it just about ticks the box of procedural generation. It does a good enough job there. Same with the loot, the random loot you get. It's again quite nice. I do wish I could again just have a custom character with a custom build, so that I could change my build around what I got. But other than that, yeah, it does a very good job there. Again, the death mechanics, losing a life is a bit much. I think you should just not have a timer at the very least. I would say drop your souls, don't have a timer, but have a give up button that you can press if you think no one's coming for you. Or maybe if you get caught out in the circle, it automatically, maybe then you have a timer if you're in the circle. Maybe it should do something like that. But at the moment, I really think that is overly punishing, because literally dying once, now early game it's not too bad, but late game it can be devastating. And the problem is that level loss, it doesn't drop those runes, it drops the ones you've got, but the ones that you lose from the level going down once doesn't drop those, so you end up with a massive deficit of runes, which can completely screw you for the game. So you really have to get back to them, and it's, yeah. The random events as well, that reminds me. The random events that happen with us, like the mini versions of the bosses coming in. Without explaining to you, especially that one where you can lose levels, can literally, again, just ruin your game and you don't know what's going on. So there's a lot of vague things in the game that aren't properly tutorialized and done well. But again, I would say the biggest problem with because I've tried to make it a roguelike experience, is definitely the gems. Like the player progression has to be more than just a few cosmetics, and then these gems where you only get 3 slots. Again, it would be so simple to just go, each time you kill a boss you get another gem slot, something like that, and just balance the bosses around. And simple enough, just, okay, you beat him the first boss, maybe then you unlock 2 more bosses, you beat one of them, it unlocks 2 more until you get to the end. That would be a simple way of doing it, and then you can kind of, you know how strong they're going to be as they get to those bosses. You know that by the time they get to the end, they will have a certain amount of gem slots, and they will be, they will have a certain amount of power that you can kind of predict a bit more to better balance those later bosses. But anyway, like I said, though, very enjoyable for all the faults and the things it gets wrong. It's like lots of, there's some major and quite, there's some quite major and moderate things in there. Not too many little niggling things. I think that there are a lot of large issues here. But it is Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is like a 10 out of 10 game, so they've built it on a very solid foundation here. Even though this game is not as good as that, to keep in mind this is like half the price. And there's an interesting experiment in a co-op mode that fans have wanted for a long time. It's an interesting idea, an interesting experiment, and I look forward to their next co-op game. But I think it's going to be Switch 2 exclusive, at least for a while, so we'll see how that turns out for them. But it'll be interesting seeing how the next game and games after that turn out when they're leaning more to this co-op, to this sort of co-op side of things, which, again, I do think they need to. They need to kind of look at ways that they can take the Souls-like genre forwards now. They've got a new batch of developers and things coming up through their ranks, and it's probably a case of they want to look at the, with a new pair of eyes here that they're going to have, a new perspective, look at what they can do to the Souls-like genre to make it more interesting, to innovate on it rather than just doing the same thing, because otherwise, as I've said, you look at something like Lords of the Fallen, just as an example. I mentioned Lies of P with different weapons and stuff. It's got like weapon crafting and stuff. Lords of the Fallen, I think, when that released its 2.0 update, and it's like, yeah, it's got seamless co-op, shared progression, and also it's got modifiers, like New Game Plus modifiers that you can put on while you've got a friend in there as well, and you'll both progress and save all your stuff as you go. It's like, yeah, that's a big deal. That is a huge deal. Playing through a game like that, it's like, okay, that they are raising the stakes. That's actual innovation. So yes, it's co-op now with all this other stuff. It's From Software might actually have to start looking at competition here. I think they have got to start. They needed to start doing this, but it's good to see that they have. Anyway. Like I said, very enjoyable. Tough at first, but I think as players have gotten more used to it, as I've gotten more used to it as well, I'll include myself in that. People have found like the best strategies, they've got used to the maps, and we're down to, especially like a month on now that I've come back to it, which to say this was my first game back, and it's like, oh look, I've beat the game. Oh, that was nice. Very enjoyable. But yeah, I'm surprised to see how much better everyone's got since. Because they have got a lot better at this. Like that, I'll go into games and it's like, oh, that guy just decided to randomly go and attack that boss over there, and now we're all dead. Whereas now it's like, oh look, they've gone over there and they've killed the boss without me on their own. We're nearly at that point. It's like, holy crap! Different breed of player seems to be playing it now. Anyway, this has been Elden Ring Nightraigne. That probably is it then with Elden Ring. That might be Elden Ring over now, finally. After 3 installments, all back to back basically. 3 installments within 3 years. And, oh god, probably somewhere between 200 and 300 hours worth of game time. It's finally finished. But I might play some more in my free time because, let's see, I have not beaten still 3 bosses. We've still got 3 to go. These 3 here. So I might do that in my own time. But thank you very much for watching. As I say, that's been Elden Ring Nightraigne and Elden Ring in its entirety. Now available on the channel in a giant ass playlist. Feel free to watch. And if you have, thank you very much for doing so. I'll see you in future videos. Should be more to come on the channel. and I'll hope to see you then.